Hey everybody, welcome back to Astronaut Lounge. I'm Poppa Stonks. Today we've got Maven Token. Maven Token is in pre-sale right now. It's going to be Ethereum chain, and they to bring investors and projects together um, and create a stronger space, which I really think is pretty cool. What they're doing over there. So said, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys introduce yourselves. Whoever wants to take the mic first, brief introduction about yourself and your experience in the space, and then we can get into the project.
So I'll kick us off then. So my name is David. For most of you probably already know, I've been quite present in the chat. Put myself out there immediately. Been in crypto as an investor since about 2015. Various different projects. Obviously, the first ones I got into were the standard ones: Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, all that kind of stuff, and then started getting into the smaller tokens, the littler projects. Right up until we decided to try and do our own thing on the back of another project, and obviously met up with a couple of like-minded individuals through that project, and here we are today trying to create Maven. Not a massive experience in running a project such as this, but I've got a big background in like project management and production management and operational management. So that kind of carries and lends itself over to a lot of different industries. It just means that I've got to work with a lot of other people that are experts in certain fields that'll help steer me in the right direction.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Too, by the way. See, El Ronio.
Yeah, I pronounce it. So yeah, my name is. I'm the other team lead, I guess, on the project here. Was in crypto was in 2018, a long time. It didn't start, projects and altcoins until much here. Gosh, what was it, 20 or something like that? Yeah, definitely. I've always had a passion for technology and computer stuff, and it's always been something I've pursued. And the interest in crypto, it's right there along. I think it's cool, pretty cool stuff, and I never thought I would be in the project, but so into Maven, the community project, and so far it's been a lot of work than I anticipated. It's been fun. It's been quite the ride so far. That's
Man, thank you. And Mac, did you want to introduce yourself? Are you going to be speaking at all?
Yeah, Matt, come on, join in, mate. It's thanks to you that you introduced us to Poppa, so you can stick your hand up and say hello to everyone.
I think he just joined back in. Real quick, was anybody else having problems hearing the? You said how you pronounce?
Aaron was cutting in and out, and you've started cutting in and out again now as well.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
Going well
Okay.
so far.
Yeah, we're off to a great start, guys. Yeah, let me. I'm gonna pop out again, and you might want to do the same. Pop out and come back in.
sure. Yep.
And we are back. Let's let's just dive into the project a little bit. You want to give a brief rundown of the project, how you guys came about. I know this started as another project. It was what, Burnex, I
Burnex,
believe.
that's right. So yeah, we were all, like I said, just investors at the time, in Burnex, and um, it failed in the end, as a lot of projects do. And the developer or the contract owner, whatever you want to call him, he put a message out in the group basically saying that the liquidity pool was too low, nobody else could sell. There was a couple of ETH left in there, but what do we want to do with it? He could, take the money and divvy it up, or he said, that the rest of the community was left. I think it was about 1,000 of us at the time. We could take the funds that were left and try and create our own project and see if we could make a success of it. So there was a big community vote, and they voted 10 of us, I think it was at the time, to create a team. And as a team, then we decided between us, first of all, what kind of project we wanted to be. We had to do obviously a lot of research, and none of us on the team had ever run a project before. So as you do, it started with a lot of research, reaching out to different contacts, looking around online, trying to decide what kind of project we wanted to be. We knew with such a small budget, we were never going to be competing to try and bring any new technologies to the market. We were never going to try and create systems and create our own chains and everything. So we had to stay in our lane, which meant we had to be realistic with what we could achieve. What we kind of looked around, there was lots of good projects that had good ideas, and we feel that we've amalgamated a lot of those ideas into Maven, and then added our own spin on it then with like looking at the multiple streams of income that to top up the liquidity pool and things like that, to give back to investors rather than the team taking money out of the project. A lot of what we do goes back into the project. Even the taxation is set up that the team wallets take very, very little out of it, and most of it goes back into promotions and development for some of the utility sides that we've got. And that's kind of where we felt we wanted to be. We wanted to kind of push the whole community piece, which then it led to where we are now, which is excuse me. Sorry if anyone can't understand me. I've got a really sore throat. But we decided then that a lot of projects, a lot of crypto groups, if you want, Telegram channels, Twitter, they kind of they don't work together. There's not a lot of people out there that wanted to help each other out, merge with each other, help promote each other. And we thought, there's a gap there. There's something we can fill. So we wanted to kind of kick out that taboo, and we wanted to welcome other projects into our setup and say, come and speak to us, come and talk to us, come and tell us about yourselves. And from there, then we could explore other avenues, different competitions, pairing different projects off against each other in competitions, and they can bring their followers in to vote for different things. So we had all these ideas floating around, and some of them were a bit pie in the sky, and we had to bring each other down a little bit, but it was all very, very fun and very exciting to start off with.
Yeah, I bet. It definitely is. It's rough trying to take over a project, especially if you haven't run one yourselves. Getting the connections and everything in this space, stuff is
Yeah,
not.
one of the biggest challenges we found is actually disassociating ourselves away from Burnex as a standalone project. A lot of early doors, a lot of people, a lot of negativity. Or this project's already failed. Why is it not going to fail again? And it's like, well, we're a completely different team, different people. The original contract owner's not involved. We've gone our own direction. They've got zero input. So that was the biggest part for us, was trying to step away and become our own creative entity, if you like.
Yeah, we were basically a whole new project, very limited. And early on, I mean, we had a lot of volunteers. We were big. I mean, the whole team was basically volunteers. People tried to push the project forward, but I mean, over time, people interest in push forward, or, that it's more important to go to pursue. All that turned into just pushing, trying to get it over the finish line. Here we are.
Aaron, I don't know if it's happening for anybody else, but you're cutting in and out again for me, mate.
Ah, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, maybe I should just machine here real quick. I'll be.
Yeah, I don't know if can you guys all hear me fine?
Oh, you're fine, man.
Yeah.
You're fine.
What I'll do then is I'll just kind of try to reiterate where Aaron was going there. So when the project started, they obviously, like I said, there was a small team, but over a period of time, people dropped out other commitments, family commitments, work commitments, and the team got smaller and smaller and smaller till there was just a handful of us left. And then slowly but surely that dropped down as well, to the point then it was just Aaron and myself doing the majority of the work. Along the way, we've picked up some great people. We've got two fantastic admins that have joined since in Mac and Marshall, or Peter as his username is on here, and they do help a lot with the day-to-day community stuff. Aaron and myself feel that it's important that we are in these Telegram groups and we are on Twitter and we are very active and that we are very present answering all the questions. We never shy away from anything. If people ask us a direct question, and we don't know the answer to it, we've said all along, integrity and honesty is essential to try and establish ourselves in the space that we're trying to. You have to have trust. So there's no question that's off limits, and we'll give that answer. So with what we've got there, we're making progress. It's slow. Granted, it's very slower than what we wanted, but we're getting there, and day by day, Twitter followers are going up, Telegram followers are going up. We're getting now more people questioning us about the project with potential investments and things like that, asking questions. So things are moving in the right direction. We just hope that continues now.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so how's the community been over there? You've got some new fresh faces. You got some admins in there. How about the community from Burnex? How have they been going through all this?
Quite limited, I'd say, considering what we felt would be almost like a guaranteed support for us, because these people stand to gain the most from the project. As you'll see, that it's all laid out in the white paper, and it's all over the website. Obviously, part of the agreement was that the Burnex holders would have their percentage value. So Burnex was up in the trillions of total supply. We brought it down to $1 billion. So what we did is, using a little bit of maths, is we worked out what percentage of Burnex they had, and then gave them the equivalent percentage of Maven. So effectively, what we said is, come and help us, support us. Even if they were out helping promote and things like that, effectively, we kind of assumed that we'd get more feedback and support from that to help push the project forward, and that disappointingly hasn't happened from a lot of people. But the ones that have stuck around, they have chipped in and they've helped out, and it's just not as much as we'd like, but the ones that have helped quite significantly.
Yeah. I mean, I know how that goes. A lot of people they aren't very active, especially if if the buy bot's not blowing up all the time, or if there's a dip, even when a token's live. So in the interim, they just want to stay in dormant in the background and just wait for their airdrop. Now, speaking of those airdrops, are those going to be vested?
Yes,
at
they
launch?
are. So what we did is we knew that was going to be a handicap straight away. So what we decided to do is we built into the contract protection. So we've got vesting built into the contract. So they will receive, I can't remember the exact figure. I think it works out to something like 0.38% per day over a period of time that will be released for them to be able to sell. So that, I think it worked out around about 90 days, if I remember correctly, that before they would have their full allocation. we also then had other things built into there. So we've got sell limits. So at any one time, no matter how much people hold, they could only sell up to 0.5% of the total supply, which is huge anyway. If people are holding that, they're pretty much a whale anyway. But we didn't want to stop new investors being able to come in and make some money, but we wanted to stop a mass exodus of funds leaving the project. So what we did then is the taxations we also had higher and lower taxations depending on how much you're trying to sell as well. So we've had all that built in. We've got cooldowns built into the contract so that people can't auto sell and things like that. So what we've tried to do is limit essentially the early burn extra airdrop being able to just be sold and crash the project, because it would just ruin all our hard work. So a lot of that is built into the contract, but we wanted to reward new investors coming in, which is why we've put the price so low in the pre-sale, because we wanted those people to be able to have the benefit of being able to come in and benefit from the project, really. And then everything else is geared to ensure investors benefit from the project more than anybody else then. So people who are holding and buying in early now, they'll see the rewards.
Awesome. So let's talk about the token a little bit itself. So what what do people get to gain from holding the token?
I said, so a lot of the taxation side of things, what we've done is if you see the fees, the 7% if you're selling on the lower end of the scale, so it's 0.25% the total supply or lower, it's 7%. Only 2% of that goes to the team. 5% goes straight back into development and promotions. And if you're selling over the higher side, 4% goes back into team, 6% goes back into development and promotions. So for people buy in, we wanted to keep the tax really low, so we've only done it at 4%. Only 1% of that goes to the team. The other 3% goes to development and promotions. So all of that there is geared for us to be able to put things back into the community, into the project, to allow us to do some of the competitions, to do some of the burns, to run giveaways and things like that, to give back to the community, rather than us try to make money from it. That was never our end goal. This was almost like a labor of love, if you like. It's become a passion of ours now. We've been fighting for this thing for over a year now. We wanted to make sure that it was something that we could be proud of and would stand up against other projects, So we wanted to make sure that was going to benefit people. But then part of the tokenomics or utilities was what we prefer to call them, because again, when we're just a token on a blockchain. So we wanted to find other ways of being able to put extra funds rather than just rely purely on people buying and selling the token. We wanted to try and find other ways of revenue streams coming in that we could then manually top up the liquidity pool. So people who are holding their tokens, that pool would keep getting topped up over a period of time. So we looked at things like NFTs, which you'll see on our website, and the Maven Art section. What we've said is there's percentages of those that come in. I think we were sitting around about 25% of all the funds. Erin, correct me if I'm wrong on that one, mate, but I think it was 25% of all the NFTs that we sell. Those funds feed directly straight back into liquidity pool.
I think 25% is going to go liquidity to help push the token, and then it'll vary by because we do have an upcoming project.
You're getting rugged, sir. You're
still
getting rugged.
I'll just.
We should probably just let Dave handle it for now.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So I think where he was trying to go there is obviously it'll vary. We've got a couple of different projects. So we've obviously got the Ripper Doc that's live on there now at the moment, which is kind of our premier kind of NFT, if you like, where we approached somebody this time around where we wanted a specific character that we had in mind. So we set out a remit. We gave it to somebody, genuinely really talented artist. I please encourage you all to go and check him out. And we give him an idea he threw back some designs at us until we met on one that we enjoyed. Obviously, that's a slightly higher price. I think at the moment that's like 0.25, I think, or 0.025 is about $40 anyway. So whatever that works out to be.
Yeah, 0.05 ETH.
Cool. So then what we wanted to do is, obviously we've got the Maven token, which is our first one. It was just a symbol for us that we wanted to try and get out there. We wanted to price that obviously lower because it's just our brand. At the moment, we haven't got a recognized brand, which is what we're working on with the marketing and all the rest of it. So, you know, obviously that's something that we've lowered the price on that again today, because obviously the increase in price of Ethereum since we priced that up has pushed that up past the point we wanted to. So we've had to bring that back down in line to keep it where we think the price point should be on that. But again, the profits from both of those would be reintroduced back into the liquidity pool. But what we've also said is that we've got another campaign that we're starting now. Obviously we're doing some giveaways on it, but we've got what we call in the Maven X campaign. So any projects that we work with and do collaborations with and stuff like that, we're going to put them on the website. They're not for sale. They're purely for giveaways and competitions to projects that are helping us out and things like that, as rewards for their followers, their holders. But that's obviously on the website to show. So if people wanted to contact us and say like, well, you know, we like that, can you do something like that for us? That would be another avenue that we could go down then. If artists themselves, they don't have to wait for us to contact them. If they want to come to us and say, you know, we like what we're doing, we don't know how to get into this space, can you help us? Like the last guy, he wasn't interested in that. He wanted a fixed fee, so he knew what he was getting. So we paid him a fee and we owned the art. But there's nothing to say that we couldn't come to an agreement with over percentages, and, you know, they create the art, we'll list it, we'll mint it, we'll deal with all the selling, and we just pay them a percentage or a royalty. You know, we're completely flexible on that. But again, any profits made from that, chunks of that would be reinvested back into the liquidity pool. So that was one revenue we went down. The next one then is it's on the white paper. So it's what we're classing as the next phase of Maven. Obviously is what we're calling the Codex, which is a bit down the line yet. We've got to build a following, I guess, first, build the trust in people, get projects to want to come to us. And that's basically like a promotion where people can pay us, and we'll put them in our Telegram, in our Twitter, we'll put them on the website, and we'll promote other projects. Again, it comes back to the community piece, where even if we're not promoting them, come in, talk to us, tell us about your project. You know, what we saw recently was, I think it was after the coin merge AMA, a lot of people just came in and started spamming like their shilling posts, and I was deleting and said, that's not what we mean by coming in and talk. Let's have a conversation. It's not a ground for you to just come in and start slamming your posts in there. You know, sit and have a conversation. Let's all be respectful to each other and have a chat. Tell us what you're doing well. Tell us what you want to achieve. You know, introduce yourself. We're not obviously just having it as a free for all for people to just start shilling all over our page. That's not what it's about. But even if they're not,
I don't even know if people do that in here.
See, so it's this, yeah. I mean, and that's what we said. So when we eventually get that up and running, I mean, that's down the line. We've got to get phase one done first. The revenue we make from that, again, a big portion of that is going to go into the liquidity pool. So even if people are not buying and selling, the other activities we're doing outside of the token, you know, it will benefit the token holders. It's like almost like the token is just one of like three parts of a project at the moment. And we just got to try and get all those pieces working correctly with the right marketing, you know, get in touch with the right people and just getting ourselves out there really, and be a project and a community that people want to get involved with.
Awesome. So, you know, as far as getting this out to, you know, to artists, like kind of market to the artists, and thought about for that? What kind of marketing are you going to do for that? You know, I know you spoke on, you know, a lot of them, you know, want to get into the NFT space or whatever, but they just don't know how. So, like, where would you be marketing to them at?
Again, we're kind of stuck in between phases. We brought this forward a little bit earlier than we anticipated because of the issues we had with the last pre-sale and the market dropping. So at the moment, the only promotion we're doing is, is this Twitter. We mentioned it in our Telegram and things like that. It's word of mouth at the moment. We've had a couple of people approach us based on, I think, the ones that Erin created for yourself, actually, and they asked us to make them 3 similar ones. They wanted them private. They didn't want them put on the website. But they've already paid for that service. So it's starting, word of mouth is traveling. They obviously like the product. They like what they're seeing. They like in the interaction. And again, they wanted the Maven logo on theirs as well. So it's a Maven X. But it's just for their own personal use. It's not something they wanted us to put on the website or anything. It's just something they wanted for them.
Okay, that's cool. Have you guys thought about, maybe building out like an NFT launchpad, where you can guide and try to market upcoming artists' NFT collection, and
Yes and no. We haven't gone that far down the line yet because we haven't got our own kind of established marketplace, for want of a better word, yet. That we didn't feel we were quite there to be able to offer that kind of service yet. With people would come to us and be like, "Oh, you're experts in this field." So we didn't want to push that too much. We are spitballing lots of ideas at the moment around marketing and things. So we've got at the moment, we're looking at how we could potentially utilize, the website, for example, to do like a referral. So, if people refer their friends and they come and buy, they get some sort of cash back. So we're doing that. We're looking at different potential launch pads. We've looked into using the NFTs as like DAOs for utility. These are all, we're forward thinking. We're thinking down the line, because you can't stagnate if you don't. We want to keep moving forward, keep progressing, keep developing. But at the moment, our main focus is getting this off the ground first, getting this pre-sale done, getting a community together. Because if we don't get that, the next phase gets set back, and we have to start again. Then,
yeah, definitely. So when do you guys think you're going to launch the token? The pre-sale is ongoing currently, and
we've got 9 days left. So unless something magical happens in the next 9 days, it's going to be difficult to launch on. I think it was the 1st of May was the original date. So that's something that the team and myself are going to have to sit down and discuss. Is what do we do? Do we progress and extend the pre-sale? Because for the first 2 weeks we didn't really see a lot of traction. And then the last couple of days, things have really started picking up. So it's like, well, do we extend it a bit longer now and try and ride this wave of interest and see where it goes? Because we've up to this point, we've done quite a lot of marketing. We've made a lot of connections. We've done a couple of AMAs now and things like that, So it's like, well, at the moment, we've got a bit of momentum. So I want to try and ride that out. But we've got 9 days. So the team and myself will have to sit down and have a look at where we think that'll go. We've got we've got something coming through the pipework. I'm sure Erin won't mind. Obviously, one of the utilities we're looking at is charities, and we have a charity that we want to work with that was part of the original BurnX. Obviously, the main BurnX feature was the taxation went to charities. So what we're doing is we are creating a new charity NFT. I don't know if Erin's got one he can pop it in your chat for you to have a look at. Maybe, I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. But what we want to do is we'll try and what we're going to do is we're going to price it to a point where it's a couple of dollars, and that people can buy that NFT. Again, it's literally just going to be a charity NFT. It is pretty cool, mind. I do like it. And then all of the proceeds from that charity token, all of that will go to that charity, and that's the kind of thing we want to do as well. Is going forward periodically just do these charity events where we can use our connections, our community to try and raise money for charities. This one we've already decided the charity, but what we want to do is anybody that's in our community, they can come in and we say, well, we're going to do another charity event in a couple of weeks. Let's have a vote. What charities are we going to donate to? How are we going to do it? And bring bring all the communities together to try and do that fundraising for charity, so we can give back as well through the project a little bit.
Yeah, what charity? Like what what is it?
So they're called For My City. They do a lot of work. It's mainly stateside. They are linked on our website. But please, again, if anyone wants to go and check them out, they've got a couple of their members are in our community. They are active every now and then. But they do a lot of good work out there. And because they were a part of the Burn X community originally, we felt it was only fair that they're first up, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely. Real quick, what do they do?
Sorry, mate, you broke up quite badly. Then I missed most of that.
Sorry, I said real quick. Like, what do they do? What is For My City?
So I think what they do is they go around, they collect up like food that's about to go out of date. Businesses are like getting rid of food at the end of the days, all that kind of stuff. And they go around, they collect up a lot of that kind of stuff, and they go and give it to like homeless shelters. I think it's a lot around homelessness. I think they're helping the people out on the streets, all that kind of stuff.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Homelessness is a huge problem, especially here in the States. So that's great to hear. Yeah.
So they've got a donate page on obviously on their website. Obviously, we've got a link to their website on our website. So whatever we do now, when this charity token comes out, like I said, the project is keeping none of these funds. It's going to go out. So obviously, we're hoping that our community will help pass that around, share that around, and then the proceeds then will be handed over to For My City. And then obviously we want to try and have a look around and see, in a couple of months' time, maybe we'll do another one, and pick a different charity and get the community. Like I said, anybody who's part of our community can put a charity forward. So if any of you guys will do any charity work or work with any charities or charities close to them, they can nominate that charity in the group, and we'll put a poll up and the winning charities, and then we'll decide, and in the meantime, whether that's going to be NFT, whether that's going to be some sort of lottery, whatever it's going to be, to raise the funds, and then we'll make sure the funds get distributed out to that charity as well. So, we're trying to do as much community-based work as we possibly can to try and, like I said, become a central community for projects.
Yeah, and actually, those donations are marketable events, so it'll bring more eyes on the on the project itself too. So.
Yeah, and to be honest, we didn't consider that at the time. Obviously, none of us are marketing gurus. Otherwise, we'd be a lot bigger now than we are. So that's why we've had to reach out to marketing companies and agencies and stuff to try and point us in the right direction. My background is commercial. Erin's more technical. None of us are marketers. So that was a kind of a gap in the team, I suppose, which we have to outsource. But obviously, if the project grows in the direction that we want it to grow, then there's nothing to say we can't bring in more people into the team, or we find it easier to outsource that work to bigger marketing companies that'll help push us forward. But obviously, anything we get at this moment in time in terms of exposure is going to massively benefit us.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, you said you're working with two different marketing teams now. So, how's that gone? How much exposure have you got from working with them?
So we're into the second week now, and I've got a link somewhere, or if Erin or Mac is on, if they can forward it on. So there's the company's called like the Platinum Crypto Agency or something like that. They specialize in like academies and teaching people about crypto and stuff, but they've got a secondary kind of element to them, which is marketing and promotions. So we working with them, and they've got a magazine, a digital and physical print magazine that goes out every week, and they've got over 200,000 subscribers to that. So this is the second week we've been there. The other one is going out this morning. So we've only had one issue so far. I'd say from the first one, I don't think we've seen much of in a way of an interaction, but again, the community was small. There was no participation. It was quite dead. So I hope this time round, if people see it and they come and have a look, they're going to see a much more active community, much more progress made in terms of the website and the participation from like the admins and things like that. So hopefully we're a more presentable project now than we were when we started with them.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And that is a key thing, man. Just kind of keep the TG active. People. That's one of the main things people look at when they first join a project. They want to see, is there community there? Is there activity? Nobody wants to go in and just and see a ghost town.
No, and that's why we're quite proud of the community we're building. I mean, I said our Twitter is up to around about 850 followers now. I think when we started this a couple of weeks ago, we were down, 300-400 maybe. So we've almost doubled in 2 weeks, which, is we wanted to be a little bit higher, but we're creeping to that first milestone where we said when we get to 1,000 Twitter followers, for example, we'll do another NFT giveaway. When we get to 1,000 followers in our Telegram, which with all you guys diving in and out, my screen's pinging like crazy. I would imagine we're probably not too far off that right now, So, we'll do another giveaway. So it's great. We are getting a lot of exposure and a lot of help. I know that other communities are reaching out. Obviously, we had Coin Merge last week, yourselves this week, and it's fantastic. And we genuinely feel like we're starting to, get our name out there and people know a little bit about us. It's good. It's nice.
Yeah, man. I'm actually just checking out the chat right now and see a lot of familiar faces. Actually, some decent investors in there too. So that's good.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. They like what they see, and they'll stick around and take a chance on us.
Yeah, for sure. So how many of the Ripper Docs have been minted so far? I know you guys
has been bought through the auto minter, and obviously we've got either 2 or 3 that we're going to be giving away to your community for the people who, as part of the prizes. I think we've got 10 in total going out, 10 different prizes. And it's first for all the ones who've come in across now, and they're quoting, the Astronaut Lounge sent me. We're going to collate all those, so there'll be a couple of rippers going out in amongst those prizes as well.
All right, don't forget to add me to that list. I was the first one.
You were the first one, number 1 on the list.
I was the first one, damn it.
So yeah, with that, what we've said is obviously because not everyone's online at the same time, we'll let you pin the recording in case people have missed it. So we'll leave the competition run for 24 hours after the end of this AMA now, and then we'll collate the list together, and then I'll create a little video of the 10 winners then and post that up so everyone can see who's won.
Yeah, that's awesome. So this your contract, it's been audited in KYC through CoinScope. So that's good. Where have the funds come from to pay for this stuff?
So a lot of it. Yeah, so a lot of it is literally like, so we had, it was a couple of ETH. I think there was about 4 or 5 ETH we had left. We've done the whole project for that. The contract, the website, everything. Like I said, Aaron is a bit of a whiz, and he drafted up the white paper and all the NFTs. He's creating all that kind of stuff. So we've had to do a lot of it ourselves through learning and grunt work more than anything else. Again, paying all the marketing and stuff like that. That's all comes. So we've had to really, really budget this thing to make sure that we could afford to do what we wanted to do. Took our time with it. We didn't want to half-ass it and put it out there. It looked bad. We wanted it to look good, because the first impressions and things like that, when people look at it, if it doesn't look professional, they're not going to want to invest their money into it. So we spent a lot of time making sure that everything looked good first before we went. So that that kept the cost down by doing a lot of it ourselves. We didn't plan on doing KYC or audit, and we went with a contract writer who himself is an auditor. So we thought that would kind of help us out a little bit with keeping the costs down. But a lot of people then approached us and said, look, I want to invest. The project looks promising, but I'm not doing it unless you're KYC'd and audited. So originally, this is why Erin and myself, then we put our names on the white paper and said, look, we've got nothing to hide. You can Google us, you can find us, we're not hiding, this is who we are. And that pacified some people, but then they didn't invest. And then we had more people come in and say, no, the same thing again, like you get the KYC, you get the audit, we'll invest. So we went out, we got the KYC and we got the audit, which was funds that we hadn't necessarily anticipated on spending. So we had to balance some things out there again and maybe delay some of the other things we wanted to do. But it's all good. We're still on track. We're still happy with the project. We'd like to get more people on board to come on the journey with us now.
Yeah, definitely. So in this pre-sale, you've got 54% going into the pre-sale, and you've got about 21% going into liquidity. Are these pre-sale tokens going to be vested too, or are these going to be just free to sell launch after funding?
No, so only the 25% that's been earmarked is currently locked at the moment. They were locked for 5 days after the end of the pre-sale as well to give early investors a chance to do what they wanted to do. So only that 25%. It's the airdrop 25%. They're the only tokens that are going to have vesting. So anybody who buys in the pre-sale or buys on the first day of launch, there's no vesting on those tokens, so they'll be able to do whatever they want. It's only the 25% that's locked for BurnX that's going to have any vesting on them.
All right, awesome. And so right now you've got a 15 soft cap and 30 hard cap, and currently I'm not sure if this is correct, but it says 0.29 ETH contributed so far.
We did have slightly more. Somebody, we don't know who these investors are, obviously, but somebody pulled theirs out for whatever reason. And we knew 15 was going to be optimistic, but we could have gone. We can launch with less, but obviously, if we launch with less, there's less going into liquidity because we are locking some whatever half of whatever we raise through the pre-sale is going to be locked up for 90 days, if I remember correctly. Obviously, we're talking technical stuff now. This is Erin's forte, but it's
locked in about 3 months, and then you guys will extend after.
Yeah, so it's we could have launched with less, but what we wanted to do is launch in a strong position, and we felt that was kind of where we would sit and we would be comfortable. We'd be able to do all the things we wanted to do right off the bat. That we could have started going in straight with some of the competitions. We could have gone in with some of the burns and stuff like that. We can launch with less, so if we have to extend it, maybe we'll look at maybe reducing that soft cap a little bit to bring it down. We've got options. We went for somewhere where we felt with the amount of tokens available, the price we wanted them to be set at, and all the rest of it. That was kind of that was that nice green zone for us, where if we'd achieved that, we'd have been in a really solid place.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's still possible. You still have 9 days left on this. Just got to get the right eyes. So how will people contact you as far as using the utilities, the codex? If they wanted to be promoted on the website and everything, how would they go about getting a hold of you? Are you going to have people out there like hunting for projects, or are you just going to try and get them to come to you?
Eventually, we will hunt some down. What we've said is that we don't want to be one of these like a call page where if anybody can come in and just say, "Oh, will you promote me?" We want to try and be a little bit different again, where again, we would rather have a conversation with people and just be like, yeah, what are you about? Tell us what you're about. Because if we're going to promote you and put you on our website and everything, we want to believe in you as well. We don't want to be putting things out there, then potentially our followers go and buy into a project that turns out to be a rug or something like that, So we want to do a little bit of homework as well, and almost like build a reputation, if you like, of recommending good projects, projects that we believe in ourselves and we would want to buy into, and that we were happy for our followers to go and buy into. So
Right.
yeah, but if people are interested now, they can come to us. They can say like, we want to go on your website, we want to be featured, whatever, and they can come to us. So, like I said, we've got admins out there now. Mac is everywhere, in fairness to him. He's constantly popping up with new projects, and Aaron and myself, we're bouncing around different groups. Obviously, we're in your group. We see a lot of the projects that you were pushing through as well. So we're jumping in and out of other people's telegrams, just having a look what's going on. And then we talk to each other and say, oh, we like this, we don't like that, and it can work both ways effectively, and they don't even have to come to us direct through Telegram. We've got contact pages on the websites. If they wanted to just drop us an email, we're contactable, and there's always one of us online based on other sides of the world. So 9 times out of 10 you'll catch one of us online.
Yeah, and that's awesome. It's always nice to be able to talk to a team member or a core team member if you ever have any concerns or anything in a project. So tell me a little bit about where you guys came up with the name for Maven. I know I know the definition or what it means. So you want to touch on that, like what made you guys pick that?
Do you know what? I as mad as it sounds, I can't remember how we got Maven, but what we said is when we were looking for something, and we said that we were listing all the ideas, and we wanted like an educational thing. We want to be able to teach complete new investors and never done it before, don't know how to get into the space. So we've got like an educational section on the website. We wanted to have maybe like guest speakers or experienced investors that come and do like a blog or something that we could post on the website. We want to share knowledge, we want to share expertise and opinions, we want to build communities. And when we started looking for like words, I think it was like you were using like synonyms and stuff like that for it, and then Maven came up, and we were like, oh. And when we put it into Google or whatever, it came up, and the definition, we were like, that is exactly what we want to do. That is the one word that just basically encapsulates everything we are trying to do, and it was almost perfect.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me now, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. So the name originally, the theme was kind of towards like a Matrix theme, and then if you remember the Matrix movies, there was an oracle, and so Maven was just basically like a of oracle, right? So there's a play on the name.
Yeah.
But something for too. So it's not just oracle and Matrix.
No, I mean I love it. I love the when I saw that on there, one who understands based on an accumulation of knowledge. So that's it's a powerful word, man. And I like the way you guys picked that, and the reasoning is here to educate people in this space on good projects and bring projects to the people as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just when you scope it out, the project looks absolutely massive when you try and look at all the things you're trying to do. But in reality, when you break it down, it's just stuff that we've been doing day to day in other groups. We're having those conversations with people, sharing our experiences. If we hear of a good project, we all spread the word, don't we? So all we're doing is just making that a formal project of just being good investors, I suppose, and a helpful community.
Yeah, for sure. So what utility are some of these NFTs going to have? I know, if I forget what I was going to say now. Yeah, do the NFTs have any utility? We'll just say
not currently. Like I said, it's one of the things we've discussed about adding utility to the NFTs. Maybe some sort of DAO, or if we're going to go down the art route of things, they can use them for access and things like that. But again, that's future vision, because it's not a space that we're currently in, or we haven't got the resource and the manpower to be able to go and push it that far yet. It is one of the ideas that you say we've got like a brainstorming chart together with the team of ideas of what we want to do. I said that was like referrals, NFT utility. We were looking at potentially one day, maybe using the full Web3 interface and maybe having wallet connection and stuff like that. So, it's this is all stuff that's a little bit out of our reach at the moment. The project is not big enough to go there just yet, but that's the kind of things where we want to progress, where we see the natural progression go into. I don't know, Aaron cut out a minute ago. Aaron, I was saying about the charity NFTs that we've got coming up, and I was wondering if it would be okay if you could chuck a little promo into the astronaut chat there, so they can have a little look at what's coming around the corner.
Yeah, so I put a snippet in there because my internet's so messed up. I can't get a video encoded here. Just give me a second. I might be able to get one.
Yeah, so obviously the NFT space is something that obviously we're quite invested in. We're all very interested in it. We were looking at ideas of what other people are doing in the space, and we were looking last night. We were actually chatting about potentially using NFTs and looking at maybe buying real estate. Virtual online. Jumping in the metaverse. I hate that word. I don't know why, but we're looking at that and using NFTs to get access to that and stuff. It's at the moment there's so much potential and options and possibilities out there, but we've got to try and stay realistic and get our fundamental project running first, and try not to get too carried away.
Yeah, definitely. And that could also, it could depending on the project that you future partnerships with and stuff like that. So, utility can always be added to something. So,
yeah, and that's where we thought at the moment we know where we are, we know what our lane is, and we're trying to operate within that. But we do like to push the boundaries a little bit every now and then, just to see what we're capable of as a project.
That's great. That's great. I think as long as you're always open to expansion, but don't overdo it. At the same time, perfect one thing and then move on to trying to expand to something else. You don't want to overwhelm.
Because we're doing so much of it ourselves as well, that's why we haven't really started pushing the codex yet. What we started doing is we'll put the odd post out with the link and stuff, and just say people join this group ready and stuff like that. But with the small team that we've got, we don't want to push ourselves out and spread ourselves too thin that we lose sight of the basics of what we're trying to establish.
100%. All right, so I think I've asked all my questions. I'm going to open it up. Does anybody in the chat have any questions?
I got a question for you. Where did your name come from?
My name? Where did my name come from?
Yeah.
Okay, so so originally I was in some trading groups on Facebook, and for stocks and options, and we ended up a few of us ended up starting this Discord server called Stonks, and in another server some people started calling me Pops, so I just kind of changed my name, and then it evolved into Poppa Stonks because Stonks was my server. So that's where that came from.
Gotcha. Yeah,
And
no, it's got a good ring to it.
yeah, I thought so. Everybody loved it when I did that. I've actually got I've got accounts and everything in that name, like Cash App accounts and PayPal and all kinds of stuff in Poppa Stonks' name. So it's stuck. Pretty cool. Let's see who we got in here. Does anybody have any questions for the Maven team? Questions for them? Probably been with the AMA. Pretty regular attendance at coin merge AMAs, so
Yeah, I can't see any questions in there in our group either.
so that's a common problem I have is I then there's nothing left for anybody to ask.
That's a good thing. It's a good host.
That's why I did away with the best questions for prizes and stuff, because it would just be the same questions, copy and paste, and this and that. And I'm like, well, I've already asked.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, guys.
How about this, Papa? I did miss the whole AMA. I came in, I came in after we had ours, and so, is it okay to ask for like a 15-second elevator pitch?
Yeah, I was gonna have them do that anyways. Just a quick summary and any closing statements after that. But yeah, if you guys want to give Bromo from the Crypto Tavern, give her a quick elevator pitch about the project.
Yeah, sure. So we're a small project looking to close that space in between other crypto projects by building a community that's open to speaking to other communities, other projects, working with other communities and projects around competitions and promotion. We're open to people coming into our chats and things like that to promote themselves. No shilling allowed. But yeah, we've got. Put me on the spot now. Look, so we've got multiple revenue streams to come in to benefit long-term holders. It's very much all our utilities and tokenomics are designed to give back to buyers and holders. You stumped me now. Been talking too long now, over an hour gone. But I think that's a fair summary.
What would differentiate you from other projects that are doing similar things?
To be honest, there's not a lot of other communities out there that are doing a lot of the things we're doing. So there's other communities out there that will allow other projects to come in, but they don't actively discuss their projects. And so we've set our taxations intentionally low for the money that comes out of the project. A lot of it gets reinvested straight back in. We've got multi revenue streams to top up the liquidity pool based on other elements of projects. The token itself is only one facet of the project. It's not the be all and end all. We are not just a token. We are an NFT marketplace. We are, or will be, a promotion spot. We've got a roadmap that means that we want to add multiple revenue streams to our project that then feed back into the token to benefit the people who are invested in the token.
Yeah, it's a 100% a community project.
Yes, and I think it is important to know the bringing in the utility to the outside world with art. So they are giving utility to up and coming artists that want to get into the NFT and create a form for them to basically start. They can get their artwork minted and sold on the platform, and get into the NFT space and get their names out there.
Okay, so that part was, I think, probably more interesting. Because I feel like, I know you said that there aren't that many projects that just allow other projects to go and speak in their group or channel. But I mean, in reality, there are like partnerships that a lot of projects have, and they do kind of semi allow them to discuss those things. It's just not done, as frequently. So that part to me wasn't as exciting, but bringing the utility to the public, I think that's a little bit where my focus, goes. So,
Okay,
I
that's good feedback, and that's the kind of stuff that we're looking for by doing these AMAs. Is this what elements of the project do we look to promote more, and what aspects do we push forward more? Because as I said, the community aspect is our core kind of belief. It was what we want to be our foundation, is being able to bring people in and hold community based events and like fundraisers and whatnot by working with other projects, other communities, and getting them to come in and promote themselves and get their followers to come in and promote their own projects and things like that. So I said that's just one facet of it, but obviously I'll take that feedback on board, and we'll have a look and maybe adjust our marketing accordingly to things like that. So that kind of feedback is fantastic to us. So thank you for that.
That's why I made sure to throw it out there, because that's actually kind of what drew me to it myself.
So when you're providing this marketplace for like outside artists, are you also gonna say they need to do any kind of fundraising? Will you have anything in place for them? Because there is a kind of like a what is it called? There's like a fundraising platform out there right now that has done this for quite a few different projects or up and coming projects. Are you going to be using any of those types of services, or will you guys be doing in-house fundraising for these artists?
So a lot of it is going to be in-house, and what we've said is it's going to be artist specific. So the first artist that we've worked with he's a comic book artist, and that was something that we wanted him to do for us. So we went to him with an idea of what we wanted. He didn't know anything about the crypto space or NFTs or anything, so he wasn't interested in using that kind of platform. What he wanted was just a fixed fee, and we just bought the art off him, and we've utilized that as part of the Maven project. What we said is we'll open that space up. If we see artists we like, we can communicate with them. Like if they do the art, we'll launch it, we'll mint it, pay them percentages. Or if they again said, yeah, I'll sell you a piece of art for a fixed fee, we'll go that way. So I think that's going to be artist specific, and we're open to all different avenues there, really, with how best to fit the project and the artist at the time.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem at all. Thank you for your question.
Oh my God, what's happening in the chat? Bro, the simping.
I thought.
It's funny. All right. Well, that cracked me up there real quick. But I don't have any questions. Yeah, I do want to say, yes, I think marketing the art, trying to bring in the real world artists, I think so you might want to kind of emphasize that a little bit, because that is a big selling point for me, myself. So, and make sure to mention that, because it is something kind of unique that not a lot of projects are doing.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely take that on board.
And well, let's see. Do you guys have any closing statements before we end the AMA?
Just from me, I'd like to thank everyone who's obviously come across to our community this evening over here, or this morning where you guys are, and joined in. You know, it's great to see loads of new faces. Thank you to Poppa for hosting this AMA for us now. Shout out to our admin Mac, who introduced us to you guys. You know, been a massive help. And if any of you guys have got any questions that you think of later on outside of the AMA, please feel free to drop us a message in the group, privately, whatever you want. Always happy to answer questions, and thank you very much.
Yep.
Yeah.
And guys, they are.
Just to follow up on that, I just want to thank you, Poppa. Say, man, you got your amazing community going here. This is it's fantastic, and thanks again.
Thanks, man. That you know, Mac, David, you guys have already been super active. Well, I definitely want everybody to go and check out TG, and if you have any questions, ask away. They're not going to shy away. They'll be there to answer. Well, with that said, guys, thank you so much for coming, and it's been a great Astronaut Lounge. Maven Token, pre-sale lasting another 9 days, may or may not be extended. So, guys, check it out. Go check out their website, their socials, and give me some feedback in the chat. Let me know what you guys. All right. Thank you. I'm going to stop recording now.